In early 2026, a seller named Dan believed he had successfully automated his way to the top of the marketplace. He was building a localized infrastructure designed to manage every decision on Amazon without human intervention. Dan deployed OpenClaw, a viral open-source AI agent framework built to run locally on his own hardware, automating his business operations 24/7. By setting up a physical stack of 10 Mac Minis, he believed this autonomous loop would grant him an unbeatable edge. But he missed a critical variable. Because the shift was open source, every other tech-savvy seller built the exact same setup. The hardware sold out completely on a global scale. What Dan thought was a highly classified strategy was actually the new industry baseline. When every single operator has access to the exact same AI tools and data scraping capabilities, technological knowledge stops acting as a barrier. Dan logs into his seller dashboard and checks his metrics. Even with his automated round-the-clock workflow, his profit margins are actively shrinking. This donut chart illustrates his situation. He falls into the 38% of distressed operators, whose revenue and margins are in steep decline. Conversely, 23% of sellers are categorized as thriving, pulling in higher revenues and expanding profit margins. Having superior products or running the fastest software scripts is no longer enough to guarantee survival. The math requires a completely different approach. Meet Brenda. She operates strictly inside that thriving category, and she spends zero time trying to game search algorithms or tweak back-end keywords. She built her business on a specific realization. Amazon is strictly a demand capture platform. It is the wrong place to try and generate brand awareness. Instead of fighting over increasingly expensive, commoditized clicks inside the marketplace, she focuses all her capital on building context and trust outside of it. This chart forecasting global gross merchandise value maps out her primary vehicle for building that context, the massive shift toward live commerce. Based on authentic audience connection, the data projects a market volume of nearly $2 trillion outside of China by 2030. True, scalable growth now dictates that you manufacture your own external demand to feed into Amazon, rather than fighting over the platform's existing foot traffic. You can write a Python script to automate a pricing structure, but algorithms simply cannot fake human relationships. Brenda capitalizes on a creator engine model. She distributes thousands of product samples into the world, recruiting everyday creators as vocal brand evangelists. This army of creators produces an enormous volume of educational and entertaining user-generated content, broadcasting it across multiple social networks. This split flow graph illustrates the exact psychological hurdle that stops sellers like Dan: imperfect attribution. There is rarely a direct, trackable return on ad spend, linking a viral TikTok to an immediate checkout. Brenda accepts the broken tracking line because she knows dominating that first educational touchpoint guarantees a massive organic sales lift when the customer eventually opens Amazon to search. Investing the time to build a genuine brand story creates a defensive psychological moat that short-term optimization hacks cannot penetrate. As autonomous AI continues to handle product discovery, the algorithms will surface what people actually ask for. You have to literally become the recommendation. Because of this dynamic, the marketplace is consolidating rapidly. A tiny elite class of brand builders is pulling entirely away from the rest of the pack. This visualization shows the endgame. Just 1.6% of sellers now generate half of Amazon's entire third-party revenue. By scaling their external demand and proprietary systems, these brands cross $5 million in revenue, the structural threshold to become truly defensible against algorithms. Dan finally checks the statistics, unplugs his Mac Mini, and clears off his desk to set up a camera. Few people buy from strangers. First, be seen. Then, be believed. Only then, be bought.